This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Well, good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Monday, September 19th, 2022. We're so glad you could join us today. In today's episode of Ag Matters PM, I talk with Bayer's Tami Schilling about their involvement with the youth in agriculture and how they support them through organizations like FFA and 4-H. We also have a look at that ag weather outlook, but first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
Well, we're at the end of another trading day here on this Monday, and for a bit of analysis, we go to Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net. Robin, what did we see going on in the grains today?
Well, there really wasn't a lot of real activity going on. Corn was under pressure most of the day, but by later in the day, it started coming back. So I think the market just kind of got tired of just sitting around for a while and wanted to close near unchanged, maybe a little bit higher. Now, last Friday, spot basis bids were lower, and that's because we're seeing some of the harvest pressure starting. Now, it's not real pressure, but we're seeing some of the harvest starting to pick up. We're anticipating this week on the crop progress report later this afternoon, we're looking at about 11% harvested. Now that's pretty much in line with last year, but with the acceptable weather we're seeing and the forecast for some drier weather in good parts of the Midwest, we're anticipating, progress to pick up quite significantly. There's no real threat of frost, so we should see some beneficial weather for drying down. Now, corn inspections today, we were looking at, or what we saw was 21.6 million bushels were inspected for shipping out. That's 3 million bushels more than last week. So they were pretty good. And now we moved over to the soybeans. On the soybean side, we saw more strength there most of the day. We did see 136,000 metric tons of soybean were reported for purchased by China today, which gave a little bit of a push to the market as well to see that demand there. The harvest progress is looking at about 4% this week, which is just 2% below a year ago. So things are progressing along there fairly well. Overall, we're seeing the soybeans in demand. So we see some stronger basis there, and that's what's underpinning that market. Again, with the soybean meal as well. Soybean meal has been fairly strong the last while here, stronger than soybeans. On the wheat side, we didn't see a whole lot. There was not a lot of news there, and subsequently wheat was down over 20 cents a bushel. Not a lot going on there. Now, the EU did cut their production by 2.5 million tons from their previous estimate today. Or one of the analyst firms there anyway. So that didn't really have any impact on the market at all. We are seeing things moving out of Ukraine yet. So there's some ships going out of there. So that's at least moving some stuff to the market. Now, when we look at import demand by China, during the month of August, the corn imports by China are down 44.4% at 1.8 million tons. That's pretty substantial that China has cut back that much. And that's kind of a little bit of an anchor on that market as well. Now, with the USDA World Supply and Demand Report of last Monday, we've retraced all of that gain that we've made primarily in the corn market. Because I think the traders have moved past that and they're focusing on harvesting right now and the uncertainty of what we're going to be getting out of that.
All right, and what are we seeing on the other side of the marketplace in the livestock complex?
Well, live cattle really didn't do a lot today either. They were kind of floundering. maybe about $1 swing in the market. Traders don't know what we're going to be looking at for cash this week. Now, last week we were steady to $1 higher, both north and south. They're looking for that right now. Feedlots think they can hold out to get the packers to bid up. There's uncertainty whether the packers are booking too much cattle ahead right now, and they might be getting closer to being short bought. So last week they were fairly adamant at holding out until Thursday's trade. This week, probably likely the same because of the win they had last week. They're going to settle for no less than steady prices. Now, the cattle complex is looking toward the cattle on feed report on Friday. And it's too early to really square up positions to that at this point in time, but it will be something that will dominate a lot of the traders' minds as we move through the week. Box beef prices are mixed at midday. Choice was up $1.10, select down 73 cents. Now, China's beef imports for the month of August were up 41.5% at 270,000 metric tons. Tons, I should say. That's pretty positive. That's the area of the agricultural markets when you're looking at grains and livestock that really made some progress last month as far as China imports are concerned. Now, moving over to the hogs, they were holding their own today, other than October. Front month October was a little bit lower, but they're holding their own even in the face of some uncertainty last week. They did increase impressively during the week. Now, the National Direct morning report was down 79 cents. We don't like to see that with the cash still struggling. Packer margins are better than they had been the last couple of weeks, but it's still not there where they would like to see it, and that's why they're not very aggressive in the cash market. However, we did see cutouts up a little bit at the noon report. They were up $1.79. We hope that can hold. Cutouts are really going to be the key again. If cutouts can improve, we'll see packer margins improve, and then we'll see the packers willing to bid up a little bit more as they've increased slaughter speed a little bit. Now, on the other side, when we look at China imports for hogs, or for pork, I should say, for the month of August, that was down 50% from a year ago at 140,000 tons. Now, we always look to China as a big buyer, and they always are a big buyer. They've been listed in the weekly export sales as buyers, and we caught up from the last month of export sales, and they're listed as a buyer in there. But we need to see some consistency from them. But with their COVID situation they have there in their lockdowns, we've seen a lot of haphazard buying from them, not as consistent as they usually are. But that's something as well that may impact demand to some extent. However, the export sales reports over the last 4 weeks did show some good exports overall for hogs. So they held pretty well today, waiting for a little bit more direction from both the cash and cutouts.
All right, Robin, lots of great information today. For those of our listeners and our viewers who would like to get in touch and learn more from the folks at agmarket.net, how can they do that?
They can give me a call directly at 877-256-3253. They can go to agmarket.net. The phone number is on the website there to go into the general mailbox, and somebody will pick up and be glad to help you.
All right, Robin, it's been great catching up with you today, and we look forward to speaking with you again soon.
All right. It's always a pleasure to be on with you.
That again was Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net. We'll go ahead and take a look at how those numbers close. That's courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. December corn is up 1 even at $6.78 1/4. November soybeans up 12 3/4 at $14.61 1/4. December soybean meal up $7.60 at $429.30. December soybean oil down 80 cents at $65.16. Chicago wheat down 29 1/4 at $8.30 1/2. Minneapolis spring wheat down 20 1/2 at $9.18 1/4. Kansas City hard red wheat down 25 1/2 at $9.09 3/4. And December oats up 6 1/4 at $4.02 1/4. On the Merc, October live cattle up 22 at $145.72. September feeders up 75 at $179.95. October lean hogs down 42 at 96.47. December pork cutout down 20 at 97.85. And Class 3 milk up 3 cents at 19.91. And that's been a check of the markets here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I talk to Tami Schilling of Bayer. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Well, at this year's Farm Progress Show, I had the chance to talk with Bayer's Tami Schilling about their involvement with the youth in agriculture and how they support them. They give money to various groups like the 4-H and FFA organizations to show those kids that they have a place in this industry. Day one of the Farm Progress Show here in Boone, Iowa. We're talking with Bayer's Tami Schilling just a bit about their investments in rural America, rural Iowa in particular, especially with 4-H and FFA. So just give us an overview of your guys' involvement with that and just kind of the investment you've made.
Yeah, so a few years back, we had met with different farmers from across the U.S., and one of the things that we continued to hear was how much they appreciated the support of rural ag youth and really of urban youth as well that may want a future in the agriculture industry. And so through the past several years, actually since 1954 with the FFA, we have been a sponsor of National FFA, and many of our sales teams also support state association efforts in Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, and Nebraska and surrounding states. And over that time, one of the big things that we like to do is we look at it in multiple ways. So the first way is how do we support the education side? So literally the ag experience, ag classroom experience, the projects, supervised ag experiences, the career development contests. And so it's that education, and part of it's resources, but part of it's also experiences that students get to have. And so we will contribute on an annual basis. Right now it's about $1 million a year that we're contributing towards different programming and education, but also scholarships. Scholarships are a huge component of our contribution to FFA, because we know that many young people, whether they're from urban settings or from rural communities, see agriculture as huge opportunity and careers in ag right now. We need smart, talented young people who understand and have a desire to be in food and ag. And so we found it to be a great place to put our money. Frankly, I came to Monsanto 32 years ago because the contributions that the company made and in FFA and 4-H. And so that was a huge background of mine and something that I was personally enamored by and definitely connected with the company. When Bayer has acquired the former company and we are now the same organization, that commitment is as strong, if not stronger than ever. And so it's been really fun to watch the evolution and see us invest in young people.
Right, and what better place to find those ag, the future ag leaders is what you're finding in 4-H and FFA. So, I mean, what's it like to just have, you basically have them in the palm of your hand and just be able to make that investment and show them that, there's people who care and they want to see them succeed.
You said it really well, that the young ag leaders of tomorrow are really the youth that are interested in food and agriculture today and the environment. A lot of the FFA members that we bring in that are brought into the organization and that we get to experience, exposed to experiences, are not from farms, because there are not as many farms in the U.S. Our farmers are very, very productive, and you don't have as many young people that go back to the farm necessarily. But a lot of people want to be attached to food and agriculture. They want to be attached to a company that is very purpose-driven in working with farmers and supporting agriculture production. And so it's really neat. It's very energizing. So I'll be at the National FFA Convention in the fall. I'll go to the state convention. I live in Illinois, so I'll jump into to the car and head up to the Illinois convention usually every year or so. And it's super energizing as a company. The other thing we find is the young people that are FFA leaders, whether they're a chapter leader whether they're a state leader or a national leader, have great ideas. And they also want internships. And so we will bring in a lot of interns that have been members of FFA to be part of the company, maybe in seed production, maybe in our engineering program and our field sales organization. And we get to interact with them. We get to talk with them. And it's neat because it's one of the things that I also get to do, because I not only for my day job, but I personally am passionate about youth and ag. I was a youth and ag. I raise youth. I raise children who want to be in the ag industry. And it's really exciting. It's, as a company, we get to invest in that future, and then that future gets to come in either to the organization or go back to the farm or go into other ag industry that we then get to interact with. And so it's kind of a full circle experience being able to support the FFA the way that we do.
Of course, whenever you make an investment in those youth in ag, you're also making an investment in the ag industry as a whole. And of course, a big thing that is probably another part of this investment is we see less and less ag literacy throughout the people. And, like you mentioned, more and more people are just further removed from the farm. I mean, a lot of the average family is, 3 or 4 generations removed, not even their grandparents were on the farm. They just don't have any exposure to it. So, I mean, what an opportunity there as well to just kind of increase that education. Like you said, there's urban kids who want to get involved in agriculture as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things that we find exciting is the growth in FFA chapters around the country. And so it's not just in small towns. They're located in cities and suburban areas, and the students that are attracted may have no family member that had a history of being on a farm. And when you look at the roles and the jobs today, data science, geneticists, I mean, I could go on, the different kinds of roles, the finance, business roles, communications roles that are in the industry. Those roles are really important, whether it's, ag trade media, like the work that you all do. That is a really important industry that many folks, that if you had not been exposed to FFA or been in an ag class, you don't even know really exists as a career. Horticulture, there are a lot of these opportunities. And we find that when students come in to FFA programs, which is one of the reasons we frankly invest, because once they come in, they take away leadership skills, they take away responsibility, they learn how to tell the story of agriculture, and they then go back to their communities and tell the story. And if their communities is possibly an urban community, we have FFA members that are in major cities that will tell the story, and it's a different story. It's not the same story about me growing up on a small livestock farm, but that's great because everybody's story is important because it's all part of agriculture. One of the things that we're doing that I've really enjoyed watching since 2010 in the America's Farmers program, we have a growing communities initiative, and farmers across 550 counties in the state or in the U.S. have a chance to sign up, and if their name is selected in their county, they are able to give money to a not-for-profit of their choice. And FFA and 4-H and a lot of local youth organizations get these dollars. And what's great is it's one opportunity to connect the community and a farmer to an organization that may not have had a direct interaction. Even though they're part of agriculture, they may not have had an interaction. And we've seen that be a terrific tool to help us really use our dollars from the Bayer Fund to invest into the communities and really help the ag advocacy piece and really tell the story even better.
Right, and we've been talking plenty recently about that America's Farmers Grow Communities program. Look forward to having more updates on that. If there's people who would like to learn more and even check out that program and maybe, enroll and try to get a chance to make that investment themselves, how can they do that?
Yeah, so what you do is go to, you can Google or use any search engine of your choice, and you can Google Bayer Fund, America's Farmers, or America's Farmers Grow Communities. And right now is the sign-up period, as you were mentioning, so it's really a great time. There's also a Grow Leaders component, and Grow Leaders will be open, that window will be open for scholarships. A huge part of the $1 million we contribute to FFA goes directly towards scholarships, and that program will be open as soon as the FFA convention is over in October. And so again, right now, Grow Communities, soon Grow Leaders, and the whole idea is just to invest in the future of ag youth, which we believe are the future of agriculture.
All right, Tami. Well, it was great talking with you today. Lots of great stuff, of course. Always great to be involved in those youth in agriculture. Good luck with the rest of the season as you deal with the programs and hopefully get plenty of interest there, and enjoy the Farm Progress Show.
Great. We appreciate being at the show. One of the things I look forward to are seeing the FFA logos all over the show. And it's one of the things that, as a young person, I remember going to farm shows with my FFA chapter. And that was my first exposure to companies. I didn't think I would be working for Bayer 30 years later. And it's been a great career. And I really appreciate the fact that Bayer, as well as our farmer customers, want us to be investing into FFA and supporting 4-H and supporting other ag youth. And it's great to see them here at the show, and I really appreciate the chance to visit with you.
That again was Bayer's Tami Craig Schilling. As for right now, let's take a look at that ag weather outlook. Well, today it's warming up, and we saw a little bit of that from the weekend. And then tomorrow we're looking at possibly record highs in Iowa and through kind of that Midwest region. Now, of course, right after that, it's going to cool off significantly through the rest of the week. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see from the National Weather Service, summer is trying to have one last hurrah. Today we'll have mostly sunny skies across the state and warming temperatures. Highs range from about 80 to the upper 80s. Tonight we'll have mostly clear skies across the state and not much cooling off. Lows range from about 63 to the low 70s. And tomorrow we'll have mostly sunny conditions statewide, and it'll be real hot. Highs range from the low to mid 90s. And taking a look at the affiliate weather map, as you can see for tomorrow, Cherokee will be sunny and 92. Shenandoah sunny and 95. Des Moines sunny and 95 as well. Waterloo sunny and 93. Albia sunny and 94. And Clinton should be sunny and 91. For more detailed forecasts in your part of the state, make sure to check in with your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's been a check of the Ag Weather Outlook, and that also brings us to the end of this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And you can find all of our video content as well as previous episodes of AM PM on our YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. Don't forget as well our free Twice Daily Market podcast on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.